My name is Elena Vasquez. I am 29 years old. And I am about to tell you a story that still makes my hands shake when I think about it. Not from fear anymore. From anger. From betrayal. From the memory of a man who looked me in the eyes, kissed my forehead, and told me he loved me, all while planning to take everything I had ever worked for. 3 years ago, I met Derek Whitmore. He was charming, ambitious, and made me feel like the only woman in any room. 3 months ago, I gave him my life savings, over $200,000, for the down payment on our dream home. Last week, I found the receipt that changed everything. And this is what I did about it. Before I tell you what happened, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Tell me in the comments, have you ever trusted someone who didn't deserve it? Now let's begin. 3 years ago, I wasn't looking for love. I was focused on my career, on saving money, on building a future that I could be proud of. I had worked hard for everything I owned. 10-hour days, weekends at the office, saying no to vacations so I could put more into my savings account. Then Derek walked into my life. We met at a coffee shop near my office. He spilled his drink, apologized 100 times, bought me a replacement, and asked for my number before I could even take a sip. Classic, I know. But there was something about him. Something that made me feel like I had finally met someone who understood me. The first year was perfect. He remembered everything. My birthday, my coffee order, the name of my childhood dog. He showed up with flowers on random Tuesdays. He texted me good morning before I even opened my eyes. I thought I had won the lottery. I didn't know I was about to lose everything. Derek told me he worked in real estate investment. He talked about properties, market trends, and future developments with so much confidence that I never questioned him. Why would I? He drove a nice car. He wore nice suits. He took me to nice restaurants. But looking back now, I realized something I was too blind to see then. He never let me meet his family. He always had an excuse. They live overseas. They're traveling. They're not close with me. I accepted every explanation because I wanted to believe him. I wanted to believe I had finally found my person. And that desperation to be loved, that was exactly what he was counting on. 8 months ago, Derek sat me down at our favorite restaurant. Candles on the table. A bottle of wine I couldn't pronounce. He looked nervous, which was unusual for him. "I've found something," he said, reaching across the table for my hands. "Something I want to show you tomorrow." The next morning, he drove me to a house. And not just any house. "This is going to be our home," he said, his voice full of emotion. "Our future. Where we raise our kids. Where we grow old together." I cried. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I cried because I had never allowed myself to dream this big. Growing up, money was always tight. My parents worked multiple jobs just to keep food on the table. A house like this? It wasn't something people like me were supposed to have. But Derek made me believe it was possible. "We just need the down payment," he explained later, sitting me down with spreadsheets and calculations. "I've already got about $50,000 saved. But the house is priced to sell fast. If we can put down $250,000 total, we lock it in." $200,000. My entire life savings. Everything I had worked for since I was 18 years old. I hesitated. "I won't pretend I didn't." "Are you sure this is safe?" I asked him. He pulled me close, kissed my forehead, and said, "Baby, I would never let anything happen to us. This is our dream. I'm protecting it. I'm protecting you." I should have listened to that tiny voice in my head. The one that whispered, "Why does he need your money if he's so successful?" The one that asked, "Why haven't you met any of his friends?" But I loved him. And love made me stupid. The next day, I transferred the money. $207,000 to be exact. I kept $10,000 for emergencies because even in my blind trust, I wasn't a complete fool. Or so I thought. Derek hugged me for a full minute. He whispered thank you over and over. He promised me that in 6 months, we would be moving into our dream home. 6 months. That was 3 months ago. And the house? We never bought it. The down payment? It went somewhere else entirely. And the man I trusted with everything I had? He wasn't who I thought he was. Not even close. 3 weeks ago, I woke up at 2 in the morning. I don't know why. Maybe it was the glass of water I drank before bed. Maybe it was a bad dream I don't remember. But I woke up. And Derek wasn't next to me. At first, I thought he was just checking emails. He did that sometimes. Work stuff, he said. Deals in different time zones. But then I heard his voice. Low. Quiet. Laughing. And I heard what he said. No, she's asleep. She has no idea. A pause. I know, right? $200,000, just like that. My blood turned cold. But I didn't move. I didn't open my eyes wider. I didn't gasp. I didn't do anything. Because some deep, primal part of my brain knew that what I was hearing was the truth. And if I reacted, I would lose the only advantage I had. Ignorance. She actually thinks we're buying a house together, he continued, that laugh in his voice again. A house. Can you believe it? Another pause. Longer this time. Once the wedding happens, I'll have access to the rest. Her retirement account. Her stocks. Her parents have money too. I'm playing the long game, babe. Babe. He wasn't talking to a business partner. I love you too. 3 more months tops. Then I'm all yours. We'll be in Costa Rica drinking margaritas while she figures out she has nothing left. He laughed again. Exactly. She's just a paycheck. Once I have the money, I'm gone. He got back into bed, pulled the covers over himself. And within 2 minutes, he was snoring softly. I lay there until sunrise. I didn't sleep. I didn't cry. I just thought. The next morning, I made him breakfast. Eggs, toast, fresh orange juice. His favorite. You're so good to me, he said, kissing my forehead. I smiled. Anything for you, baby? And I meant it. But not the way he thought. Because while he ate his eggs and scrolled through his phone, I was already planning. Already calculating. Already turning from the woman who loved him into the woman who would destroy him. The first thing I did was call a lawyer. Not a regular lawyer. A forensic accountant who specialized in divorce and fraud cases. Her name was Jennifer Morales, and she had a reputation for tearing powerful men apart in court. I didn't tell Jennifer everything. Not yet. I just asked her, if someone transferred money to their fiancé for a joint purchase, and that fiancé never made the purchase, what are the legal options? Her answer made me smile for the first time in 24 hours. Plenty, she said. Especially if you have proof of fraud. Over the next 2 weeks, I became someone I didn't recognize. A spy in my own home. An actress playing the role of the loving fiancé while secretly gathering evidence. I checked his email while he slept. I photographed bank statements he left in his desk. I followed him twice when he said he was meeting clients. And here's what I found. Derek had never worked in real estate. He was a retired personal trainer who had been living off women for 7 years. I wasn't the first. I was just the most recent. There were at least 4 others before me, all of them middle-class women with decent savings and desperate hearts. And the woman on the phone? Her name was Chloe. She lived 2 states away. And she had been Derek's real girlfriend for 5 years. I even found one of his previous victims. A woman named Patricia who had lost $60,000 to Derek 5 years ago. She was still paying off the debt. When I told her what I was planning, she grabbed my hands across the table and said, "Get him. Get him for all of us." And I promised her I would. The receipt. I found it on a Thursday. Derek had left his jacket draped over a chair. He was in the shower, singing off-key like he always did. I almost didn't check the pockets. I had already found so much. But something told me to look one more time. And there it was. A wire transfer receipt. From Derek's account. For $150,000. To a woman named Chloe Sinclair. The memo line said, engagement ring and wedding fund. I stared at those words for a full minute. Engagement ring. For her. Wedding fund. For her. The money he had taken from me. To buy a ring for another woman. To plan a wedding to another woman. While I sat in our apartment. Planning our future. Believing our lies. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I walked to my desk, scanned the receipt, emailed it to Jennifer, and put the original back in his jacket pocket. Then I went back to bed and pretended to be asleep when he got out of the shower. You okay, babe? He asked, towel around his waist. Just tired, I said, my back to him. Long day. He climbed into bed and wrapped his arms around me. And I let him. Because the best revenge doesn't happen in a moment of anger. It happens in silence. In planning. In patience. And I was done being patient. Last night, I took Derek to the same restaurant where he had first told me about the dream home. The same table. The same wine. He thought I was being romantic. He was wrong. I have something to tell you, I said, setting down my glass. He smiled. You're not pregnant, are you? Because I'm not really. I know about Chloe. I'm sorry, he said, forcing a laugh. I don't know anyone named Chloe Sinclair, I continued, my voice calm and steady. Your girlfriend of 5 years. The woman you bought a ring for with my money. The woman you're planning to marry once you finish draining my accounts. The silence stretched between us like a wire about to snap. How? I overheard you, I said simply. 3 weeks ago. 2 in the morning. You thought I was asleep. His face went pale. Then red. Then pale again. That's not, you don't understand. Actually, I understand perfectly. I reached into my purse and pulled out a thick folder. I have bank statements, wire transfers, emails, testimonies from Patricia, from Michelle, from at least 3 other women you stole from. I also have a meeting tomorrow with the district attorney. Fraud. Theft by deception. Identity theft. They're adding up the total now, but I think it's somewhere around $400,000 over 7 years. You wouldn't. Watch me. You think anyone will believe you, he hissed, low enough that nearby diners couldn't hear. I'll say you're crazy. I'll say you gave me the money as a gift. You'll what? I stood up too, facing him. Lie? Fabricate? Manipulate? That's all you know how to do, Derek. But here's the difference between us. I leaned closer. I have proof. And you have nothing. Because I already transferred the remaining assets into an account you can't touch. Your name is off the lease. Your things? They're in storage. You don't live with me anymore. You never did. He stared at me like he was seeing me for the first time. Who are you? He whispered. I picked up my purse and the folder. I looked him straight in the eye. I'm the woman you shouldn't have betrayed. And I walked out of the restaurant without looking back. This morning, Derek was arrested. Not just for what he did to me. For what he did to all of us. Patricia testified. Michelle testified. 3 other women came forward after they saw the news report. The total amount he stole over 7 years? Nearly $600,000. He's looking at 10 to 15 years in federal prison. And Chloe? She dropped him immediately. Apparently, even she had limits. She's also being investigated for knowing about the scheme. The dream home? I bought it myself. A smaller version. A simpler version. A version that belongs only to me. I don't need a man to build my future. I never did. So that's my story. The man I trusted. The money I gave. The receipt that changed everything. And what I did about it. I'm not going to tell you that revenge is always the answer. Or that you should never trust anyone. Because that's not true either. But here's what I learned. Trust is a gift. And when someone turns that gift into a weapon, you have every right to take it back. Derek thought he was the smartest person in the room. He thought he could lie, manipulate, and steal without consequences. He was wrong. And now he's sitting in a county jail, waiting for his trial, with nothing but the memory of the woman he thought was too stupid to see the truth. I hope you never have to go through what I went through. But if you do, remember this. Silence is not weakness. Patience is not passivity. And the quietest people are often the most dangerous. Because we're not plotting. We're waiting. We're gathering. And when the moment comes, we don't just win. We destroy. Thanks for watching. If this story meant something to you, please like and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, have you ever had to walk away from someone who didn't deserve you? I'll be reading every single one. Take care of yourselves. And never give anyone the power to destroy what you've built.